Hi everybody, welcome to the Tournament Center here at Pro Tour Return to Ravnica in Seattle, the home base of Magic the Gathering. I'm here with Hall of Famer Raphael Levy, and we're going to talk about a modern deck that maybe a lot of people don't have on their radar right now, Zombie Station.
Right.
Tell me what this deck is trying to do.
So it's trying to put zombies into play, creatures from your graveyard, and blast your opponent with either like attack damage or a blasting station.
So it looks a little bit like a Dredge deck, a little bit like a zombie deck, and a little bit like a Dredgevine deck.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay,
Yeah.
well let's take a look at what makes this deck tick. So and slide. There we go. So what's going on up here?
All right, so we have Vengevines, Gravecrawlers. What's the Stinkweed Imp, but they're not exactly in the right mix. This is an enabler.
Okay.
2 cards in the graveyard to get.
These are 2 cards that want to go into the graveyard right here, right?
Yeah, also right. So you get Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard with some other enablers, which will come later, to eventually get Vengevines and Gravecrawlers back into play.
Okay.
So with that, you have more cards because it's a little.
So these are all guys that you want.
That you want in the graveyard.
In your graveyard. Okay, and the Dredge here helps a lot in terms of getting these guys in.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at the next slide, which is, I believe, all Return to Ravnica cards.
Okay.
Should be.
Because there should be some.
Well, here's. This is.
All right. Let's do this.
We were talking about just some of the Return to Ravnica cards that make this deck unique.
Okay.
But Lotleth Troll is a card that helps get stuff in your graveyard.
It's a lot like Wild Mongrel back from Odyssey.
Sure.
Puts your card from your hand to your graveyard, where they're a lot more useful. And then Deathrite Shaman is the way to get your colored mana, to get some damage through.
So you'll actually use all 3 abilities
all
here?
of them, yes, because you're playing black and green mana. And Abrupt Decay is a good way to get rid of Tarmogoyfs. And
basically every single card in the modern format costs 3 or less.
Some of them don't. Like the Restoration Angels, you can't kill them.
Sure.
Kiki Jiki, don't kill them.
Okay.
Pod, don't kill them. But this one kills Tarmogoyf, the Gravedigger's Cage. Like for some reason it's main deck, I don't know, probably not, but
sure.
You still have that for the second game.
Right.
But it's mainly against Tarmogoyf. Okay.
Well, let's take a look at some of the cards you're obviously more eager to get to, I think.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so the Dregscape Zombie has a little something for him, because it's not a good card. It's not.
Sure, it's not a card that's seen a lot of constructive play.
Like when people, I play against Corey McDuffie. After the game, he went to his friend and said, I lost to Dregscape Zombie. Like, So the point is to get the Bloodghast in the graveyard, and you can take it with like the fetch lands, bring it back into play with fetch lands. A lot of combos with Blasting Station. We'll get to that later. Diregraf Ghoul is a zombie to get the Gravecrawler back. It's a 1 mana creature to get the Vengevine back. And this guy is, his purpose, when you have no board and you're dredging with Imp, you need to have a zombie in play in order to bring back the Gravecrawler and the Vengevine. If you play 2 Gravecrawlers from the graveyard, unfortunately it doesn't work. Vengevine doesn't work with this guy.
Right.
You bring 2 Gravecrawlers back and then Vengevine. So on an empty board, you can have all you guys back on board.
So basically, for 1 black, you unearth them.
Yes.
Now you have a zombie.
Yeah, and they don't have like priority, so you can play Gravecrawler and stuff your board again.
So you get to restock Gravecrawler, and then Vengevines come back. And,
and attack for 2.
Yeah, and then Bloodghast.
Bloodghast also, when you, it's nice to get back for free.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a +1/+1 counter on the troll that you can discard and have back, and more damage on turn 3.
And you're just dredging cards into your graveyard. You hit 2 Bloodghast, it's just free cards.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So let's take a look. Moving on.
All right.
This is a card that I think this is like your invitational card or something.
I've played this card. I've played 11 copies of this card in like 3 PTs, and I should have played 12. Like in Barcelona, I played that one. I should have played a 4th one. I had only 3, and this one, that was very hard to find. Before the PT, no one had it in Seattle. I sent countless messages to get it because the dealers in Seattle didn't have it, and no one had it in binders.
Right.
But it's extremely good in the deck where you can sacrifice like creatures that can come back for 1 black mana. You pretty much deal 1 damage to any target.
So let's just go through Blasting Station because people don't have it in their binders. They might not know what it does.
Sure.
3 mana artifact. Sacrifice a creature. Blasting Station deals 1 damage to target creature or player. And then whenever a creature comes into play, and that's on either side of the table,
yes,
you may untap Blasting Station. This is one of Aaron Forsyth's favorite cards. I know. There was a whole series of stations that could interact, but this card is really the one that's seen some tournament play. So basically, if you get to the point where you have a zombie in play and a Gravecrawler in your graveyard.
So you can pay 1 mana basically to deal 1 damage to any target. You bring back a Gravecrawler.
This triggers.
To untaps, sacrifice to graveyard, pay 1, get it back, untap, repeat. Right. And any fetch deals 1 damage with Bloodghast, and there's a lot with the Dregscape Zombie. It's 2 damage, sacrifice, comes back, 1 more damage.
And is this your how much of your kill is centers around Blasting Station?
It's a lot more about controlling the board, like killing the birds, finishing off Tarmogoyfs, and sometimes finishing the player, but not too often.
Okay. And Faithless Looting obviously is just
a keeper every time you have it in hand. I just love this card. I didn't believe it was real in the first place. I remember, was it the first card that was previewed from Dark Extension?
Appeared. I believe it appeared in the comic book.
I thought it was fake. I thought it was too good. Now I'm playing it all the time, so I guess I was right. It's too good.
All right, so, and then I think that's the spells. So you have a couple basic lands in the deck.
I have a forest and 3 swamps. Forest just not to take too much damage if you want to fetch for the forest.
And Blackcleave Cliffs. This is a card we've really seen. Seems to be like having a big. It seems to be it's in a lot of the lists, and that ability to have black or red on turn 1 is pretty important.
The fetch lands don't really get the mountain, so you need to get have this one for free mana.
Right. 3 Overgrown Tombs, 1 Blood Crypt. Moving on to the next set of lands, I imagine.
The fetch lands, 8 fetch. No, maybe.
Okay, well they're there.
Fetch, 8 fetch. Yeah. Here they are.
Marsh Flats and Verdant Catacombs, and so you don't really have the ability to fetch for red. So you really kind of.
Yeah, you have 1 Blood Crypt. Like the bad thing can happen. You dredge away your Blood Crypt, and you don't have any Blackcleave Cliffs, and don't have any way to actually get to red mana to. But that doesn't happen often. But that's just a problem.
It's part of playing Magic.
Yeah,
sometimes you mill away the red source. That happens.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're really happy with this. Like you say, it's very complicated to play. It seems like there's a ton of decisions. You're dredging, you're recurring things, you're searching through your deck with Faithless Looting.
The first version didn't really have all this stuff. Like the imps came a little later. We didn't have we had messengers and Lilianas in the first place.
Okay.
And then we talked with Kenny. We is Austin Fritz and myself. We talked to Kenny Uber from Sweden.
Sure.
And he said, Tezzerator. And we thought, maybe the imps would be good. He told me, try the imps. Like, imps could be fine. It was but we need some zombies. Let's add some Dregscape zombies. And then it worked out quite well. And then we tried, and the problem is that I don't really have enough games before.
Okay.
So it's really tough to exactly know what's going to happen. You have so many cards that makes the game plan different. If you draw the Bloodghast or the Vengevine, your game plan is going to be totally different. Right. And you need to weigh every option, and that's really tough.
Like if you had another week with this deck, your results are very different?
I would have another deck next week. I mean, I think I would have played better because I think I made a couple of bad decisions during the games that probably cost me a game or 2. Yeah, that's a lot over 5 rounds, but
yes.
But I think it's very hard to play. But once you play it well, I think it's great. I think it's a great deck.
Well, there you have it. We're going to keep Raph's sideboard under wraps, but you can figure out some sideboard cards that you want to play in those colors, and you can head to Magic Online, fire up some of those 2-man gold queues, put this deck in there, start playing. He didn't steer you wrong with Freets, right? So for Raphael Levy, this is Brian David Marshall signing off from the Tournament Center.